Hey, good day to everybody. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I'm just out here, just doing some good old Sunday late afternoon driving. I thought I would make a video that's real close to real time here, to where you guys can see the snow that we currently have laying on our ground on this nice, wonderful, cold Sunday. Right now the temperature is 9 degrees. Earlier it was at 11 degrees and now it dropped to 9. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I know I can't complain. I mean, I could, but it ain't gonna do me no damn good. I mean, the best I can do is just think of ways to better my life, which I do on a daily basis here. I mean, you know, speaking of me bettering my life, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to press the like button. Don't forget to give my videos more likes. That way they get more exposure. That way they, I guess, penetrate the YouTube algorithm and my videos begin to get more exposure. And then my channel can get to the point where I start getting some money, where I start making some decent money, to where I can quit working my 9 to 5 and do this YouTube stuff full time. And I can continue to show you guys all different areas to where you can go and purchase yourself a home and live a nice and quiet, happy, peaceful life without having to empty out your wallet, without having to work yourself to an early grave. I know for me, you know, a couple of years ago I was working in the oil field, and I gotta say that job was a blessing, because thanks to me working in the oil field, I have been able to pay off my current house. Well, not pay it off, but I've been able to buy my current house and pay cash. Now, most people, hey, you know, they look at my life and they might think, okay, I own my house, all right. I don't have any major outstanding debt. I should be happy. I should be grateful for everything, and I am. But at the same time, I push myself to do better in life. Like recently, I've been giving a lot of consideration into quitting my current job and more or less doing my own thing. Like, I've looked into maybe working for Uber. I've looked into working for some of these delivery companies, just kind of mixing that together. Like, and then in the summertime, I also looked into possibly starting my own lawnmowing company and cutting grass. And I've looked into other ideas that I think might be lucrative in terms of me doing my own thing, making my own money, working for myself. Because I love to travel. I love making YouTube videos about places I go and check out. I love looking at real estate, and I would like to be able to look at more real estate and create more videos. And I would like to pass on the knowledge that I got about real estate to some of you folks. Now, at this point, I am not a licensed agent, so bear that in mind. I'm not no kind of real estate lawyer or attorney, so bear that in mind too. I just wanted to get that disclaimer out real quick. But and speaking of real estate, I even thought about getting my real estate license, so I could be a licensed real estate agent. That way, if I ever wanted to, I could begin to sell real estate. Because I look at how other agents do business, and some of them do a very good job. Many of them do a real crappy job. There's a lot of agents out here, just like I explained on my last video. My video that I made showing you people man, I can't think of what video that was on it, but my last video, the last video I made, I went into a little bit of a conversation talking about real estate agents and how if you're looking at lower priced property or you're trying to sell a property that may not be worth a whole lot, you got a lot of agents out here that are very lazy. Yeah, the video is Fairmont, that's what it was. Yeah, go back and check out my last video, the video I made about Fairmont, Indiana. That's a video where I discuss real estate agents and how lazy I think a lot of them can be. If they feel that the property that they're selling or the property that you're wanting to buy is not enough money to where it's going to be worth their while commission wise. I mean, like I told you on my last video, you got a lot of agents out here that, you know, if you're selling a property or you're purchasing a property for that $50,000 or below range, you're going to get a lot of agents that are either A, they're not going to want to deal with you, and if they deal with you, they're going to basically put you on the back burner. They're going to basically put you on the back burner. All the clients that they have that might be looking at properties worth $100,000 or better are going to get that agent's best service. They're going to be the ones to get that agent's undivided attention. They're going to be the ones that agent goes out the way for. You know, people like myself who look at lower priced properties, we're going to be the ones that, you know, they're busy. They got church. They got this and that going on. And they're on vacation. That's my favorite one, they're on vacation. And then they may not return your call for a week or two. That's why I tell you people, if you're out here looking to buy a lower priced property, if you're looking for bargains, and you plan to use a real estate agent, don't just put all of whatever, don't just put all of your load on the agent's back. I mean, ideally that's how it should be, but realistically, you gotta be determined enough to where, okay, if you look and you recognize that your agent's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you recognize that your agent is being a little on the lazy side, you gotta go to your agent and take some of that load off of his back, and you gotta put it on your back, and you gotta get shit done. You gotta handle business. Because if you choose not to handle business and you assume, okay, you got an agent, your agent will take care of it all. He or she may, and then again, he or she may not. And if they don't, you might look up and guess what? Somebody else that came with their agent and they done bought that property from beneath you. So now your dreams of wanting to live in that house will be crushed, and now you're gonna have to go out and look for something different. So just because you hire a real estate agent, don't assume that they're gonna do what they're supposed to do. Sometimes they do, and a lot of times they don't. I mean, sometimes they'll be honest with you, and I always say a lot of times they're not gonna be honest with you. They're gonna lie to you. They're gonna tell you to pay way more than what the property is worth. And that's another thing, just because you got an agent, you know, still, do your own due diligence. I can't stress it enough to you people, do your own due diligence. You know, look up the property records, look up the tax records, price the area for yourself. Like wherever that property is located, go to that neighborhood and check it out for yourself. Price some of the houses that may have sold recently. You know, look at it, look at all that for yourself. Don't assume that your agent is going to do all the work, because 9.5 times out of 10, they're not going to do all the work. When it comes to the prices, they may not do anything. You'll be the one that will have to get out there and do all the work to make sure that you get the best price possible for that particular piece of property that you're wanting to purchase. You might be the one that will have to do all the work. In most cases, that's how it goes. Because like I told you on my last video, these agents are strictly commissioned. That's how they get their pay. They get paid strictly commission. So if you choose to buy a property for, let's say, $80,000, when really you should have been able to buy it for $55,000, guess whose problem that's going to be? That's going to be your problem. Guess who's going to benefit from your ignorance? Your agents. So when it comes to looking at a piece of property, by all means, do your due diligence. Don't be ignorant. Don't be lazy. Don't put the entire load on the agent's back. I mean, sometimes it might even be necessary to get a new real estate agent. I mean, sometimes, and I've done this before as well, sometimes you gotta let your real estate agent go, and you gotta go get you a new agent, because the agent you currently have may be no good. So don't be afraid to recognize that, hey, you know what, my agent's a piece of garbage. Let me get rid of their ass and get somebody better. Don't be afraid to do it. I mean, I know people that had an agent and they got rid of their agent and they decided to sell their own property. I mean, that's something you can do too. I know people that may have had agents to help them look for a property and represent them in purchasing the property, and they got rid of their agents and they decided to represent themselves. I mean, that's possible as well. Now, obviously, if you do any of those two things, obviously, you're going to want to do your due diligence. You're going to want to do all your research. It probably wouldn't hurt to pay a little bit of money and speak to a real estate attorney or a lawyer to make sure to make sure your shit is right. That way, when you go and you buy your home or you sell your home, you don't get met with no kind of surprises. So I guess that's my spiel for the day about real estate agents and how you should go about buying or selling a piece of real estate. And another thing I like to talk about is, I'm going to change the subject obviously. Another thing I want to talk about real briefly is just Indiana. Now, several videos back, I would say probably about a little over a month ago, I made a video talking about Indiana. So go back to that video. Let's talk about Indiana. Check it out. Because on that video, I say some very basic stuff about Indiana, which is all true. So if you want to know what that is, go check out that video. But another thing which I thought about recently is, I mean, for those of you that are old enough to remember the recession that we had 12 years ago, back in 08, and it lasted up until 2011. Okay, after 2011, that's when things began to return back to normal, economically speaking. So for those of you that are old enough to remember the recession, There were a lot of cities that always had a decent economy, and all of a sudden during the recession, the economy in those areas went to the shitters. Like during the recession, I left Nashville, Tennessee, and I moved back to my home state of Ohio because I wanted to be a little closer into my family. And plus, at that point, the housing in Tennessee was starting to get a bit on the high side. It wasn't ridiculous like it is now, but back then it was starting to inch up. So I had a little bit of money sitting around, so I decided to take that money and buy something up in Ohio and be closer to my family. But anyways, to make a long story short, things up in Ohio didn't go so well. I mean, the economy in northern Ohio was terrible, and to this day the economy in northern Ohio is still terrible. So I'll make a long story short, I sold my house, and I did sell it at a very significant loss. But anyhow, I sold my house and I came here to Indiana. Got me a job, and I would say for the first month or two I lived out of my car, and then I lived in a hotel for a little bit, and then I got me my apartment, and then I went from my apartment to finally purchasing another home. But anyways, here's what I'm trying to get to. During the recession, I noticed that the economy here in mid-Indiana was pretty solid. I mean, the economy here in mid-Indiana was actually better than even Nashville, Tennessee's economy. I mean, nowadays you got a lot of people talking about how good the economy in Nashville is, and how Nashville is doing all these wonderful things. You got everybody, I mean not everybody, but it seems like you got every other person from the West Coast moving to Tennessee. I remember during the recession, the economy in Nashville wasn't doing much of nothing. But on the other hand, the economy here in mid-Indiana was holding pretty solid. The economy here in mid-Indiana was actually better than the economy in Nashville. And to me, any area that's able to hold a stable economy during times like the recession, I mean, to me, that speaks volumes on that particular area. I mean, like I told you guys before, and I'll tell you again, Indiana is nothing fancy, there's nothing special. I mean, Indiana is basically a meat and potato state, to where if you're looking for a relatively low cost of living, low taxes, with a economy to go with it all, Indiana is your place. But I just got to thinking that, during the recession, the economy here in mid-Indiana was holding pretty solid. The economy in Fort Wayne was starting to build itself. I mean, even during the recession, you had a lot of people leaving Toledo, and they were leaving Toledo and moving to greater Fort Wayne, because Fort Wayne and Toledo are only about a couple of hours or so apart from each other. that's another thing which I like to say about Indiana. Now you got a lot of your big YouTubers such as Nick Johnson and the World According to Bricks that whenever they talk about Indiana, they always got something negative to say. I mean, every so often they'll come up with something positive, which a lot of times what they gotta say about Indiana that might be positive is oftentimes rather insignificant. But one thing was I want to say positive about Indiana after living here for over 10 years. What I want to say about Indiana is actually rather significant, and that is the fact that even during the recession, Indiana has held pretty strong, economically speaking. Like when I came here to Indiana during the recession, during the tail of the recession, I was able to get a job within a couple of weeks. I mean, during that time, I had old friends from Nashville call me up and tell me that, you know, they were out of work and they were having trouble finding work. And here I am in Indiana, and I'm working. I mean, finding work for me was no problem when I got here. So for those of you that are looking into living here in Indiana, that's another thing that you might want to bear in mind. Even during real challenging times such as the recession, Mid-Indiana held pretty solid economically. And Fort Wayne, around that time, began to build their economy. I mean, you go to Fort Wayne now, Fort Wayne is pretty solid economically speaking. You go to Fort Wayne like greater Fort Wayne, like greater Indianapolis, the economy is pretty solid in Fort Wayne. Like I told you before, whether you go to greater Fort Wayne or i.e. Northeast Indiana, or you go to greater Indianapolis, or i.e. the middle of Indiana, I mean, economically speaking, you cannot go wrong in either one of those cities, in either one of those areas. Oh, and by the way, just so you people know where I'm going, where I'm at right now. Right now, I'm just driving through Frankfort, Indiana, real quick. I'm in Frankfort right now. And I will come back here at a later time, at a later day, and I will do a full video of this beautiful town. I mean, I didn't get any kind of information about this town, so I'm not going to do a full video of this town. I'm just driving through just parts of it, just to diversify this video. But I will be coming back here at another time, and I will be doing a full video of this town of Frankfort, Indiana. So stay tuned for that video. I will be doing one, just so you guys know. I thought I would just go ahead and give you guys a small glimpse of a future video that I will be doing. But yeah, you know, like I said, and I can't emphasize this enough. I mean, that's one thing I like about Indiana, is the fact that we do have a very solid and stable economy. And despite the economy that we have here, the cost of living here in Indiana still remains fairly low compared to many other states. Yeah, I think I told you guys a minute ago that I was in Frankfort, Indiana. I meant to say Frankton, not Frankfurt. I meant to say Frankton. So I will be doing a video about Frankton, Indiana. Not Frankfurt, but Frankton. So stay tuned for that video. I will be doing one. Because here in Indiana, we got Frankton, which is the area that I'm driving through a little bit right now. Then we have Frankfurt. Then we also have a Franklin, Indiana. So we got Frankfurt, which is where I'm at now. We also got Franklin. We got Frankfurt, we got Franklin. And I forget what the other one was. There's Frankfurt and Franklin, and I can't think. I had it at the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it now. I think it's Frankton. Yeah, Frankton, that's the third one. So sometimes I get confused between the three different cities that all begin with F's and all happen to be small towns. Okay, people, I don't really have anything more to say, and this video is getting close to that 30-minute mark. So in a few seconds or so, I'm gonna probably go ahead and end this video. Everybody have a blessed one, and I will see you all on the next video. And like always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to give me those likes. You know, keep me going here. For all you locals that watch my channel, support your man. You know, make it easy for me to do more content, not just on Indiana, but also on other areas. But you know, support your man. That way I can quit that 9 to 5 and I can do more videos like this. Just saying. So anyhow, everybody have a blessed one. Have a good rest of the weekend. Enjoy your Super Bowl for those of you that are going to watch the game. And I will see you on the next video.